Matt the Mortgage Guy here, a short video talking about working with a mortgage broker versus going to a bank. And I'm gonna try to be non-biased as a broker. I'm gonna have a few biases, but promise that if you've seen any of my content, you know that I try to be as honest and straightforward as possible, even when that's saying something where I'm not the best option or I believe the mortgage broker is not the best option. So without further ado, I'll get into the video. Please, if you like straightforward, honest advice about mortgage, real estate, and finance, consider subscribing to the channel. Smash the like button whether you're gonna subscribe or not, because it helps the YouTube algorithm and more people, when they're searching the interwebs, find out information. And I think this is relevant in 2020 more than ever, because people searching this stuff online, I found a bunch of stuff from 2012, 2013. It was a different world back then, especially in lending. And so anyhow, let me get into it. Mortgage broker versus a bank. And I think it's probably fairly common knowledge that when you compare the two, people think about, okay, if it's somebody at a bank, it might be a more bureaucratic process. It might take longer. That's true more than ever in 2020. That's generally gonna take longer to close a loan with a bank versus going to a mortgage broker who does home loans all day, every day. That's all they do. Banks got other stuff they're concerned about. And honestly, right now, they're more concerned about the investment side and the other stuff besides mortgages, but that's a whole nother story. So there's that. There's speed, where you're going to be able to close a loan faster with a mortgage broker, and that's going to matter in competitive real estate markets when you're trying to buy. Sometimes you're going to have to close fast in order to get the deal when you're making an offer. Another thing is going to be rates are generally lower with a mortgage broker. Now, trust me when I tell you, I try to be non-biased. I try to look at everything from all angles. I'll tell you this, not all programs our mortgage broker is going to be the best priced. And I'll give you an example just to prove that I'm trying to do my best as a mortgage broker to not just say that we're better in all areas. If you have a lot of money on deposit at a big financial institution, you've got 250,000, 500,000, a million plus, there is a good chance that if you're going to do a jumbo loan, those Chases, those B of A's, those Wells Fargos, in order to keep your business and have you do more business with them, they're going to offer you a discount on your mortgage and really on a jumbo loan. They like jumbo loans. In 2020, I've got plenty of banking buddies that have told me on the conventional conforming stuff, they're just not competitive. They don't want that business, or they're pricing themselves out for the time being. So there's that. Mortgage broker in most circumstances better priced on a few things, maybe some jumbo loans where you've got deposits. The bank can offer better terms. Another thing is that banks in 2020 more than ever are generally more conservative. And part of the reason why you can say a broker is going to be less conservative, more aggressive, able to do more, is because they've got access to 100 different wholesale banks. If the one that they broker to in Southern California doesn't do loans down to 600 credit score, then they broker it to somebody out in Michigan, or vice versa. They're going to be able to find you a loan program to suit your needs. And if that means you've got a lower credit score, or you've got some issues, the bank is going to be less flexible, and they're going to be more stringent on guidelines, and they just have their box. And if you don't fit in it, then the banker can't help you in some circumstances, where the broker can say, okay, let's look for a lender where I can send it, with a 582 credit score. So more flexibility. And that's probably one of the biggest things that a broker will offer. And a good broker who's really good at their job has relationships and experience with at least a handful, 5, 6, 8 banks. I'm not going to say that all of the 64 different wholesale lenders we're signed up for, I know their processes front and back, but at least for the 5 or 6 that get a majority of the business, I send low credit score FHA stuff to this bank. I send high credit score conventional stuff to this bank. And it's just a matter of being a matchmaker. Okay, based on your specific scenario, this is where I'm going to send your deal. Whereas at a bank, you got a 661 and you're doing FHA, or you've got a 780 and you're doing conventional. Those are going almost always to 2 different wholesale banks because you're just going to get better terms at different places. Whereas if you're at a bank, they've just got one bank product. They can't change where they're going to send the loan based on the specific scenario. So there's that. I read in here, and I promise you I was trying to look for some cons, and there's some funny ones. This article on the truth about mortgage, I'm just going to read it. Cons of working with a mortgage broker. They make mistakes like anyone else. That's true. And that's true anywhere you go, whether you're working with a direct lender, a bank, a mortgage broker, that they make mistakes like anyone else. It's really important, especially if you've got, you're self-employed, you've got multiple businesses. If you've got any type of complexity to your deal, it's really important to work with a quality professional. And I'm not saying in a specific channel, just a quality one that knows loans well and can do a really proper job up front of getting you pre-approved, knowing for sure if this thing gets in a contract, we can close the deal. False promises to get your business. That's another one of the cons that I saw in this, which unfortunately is true. And I talk to people every day that, they're shopping for the best interest rate, and they've talked to this person, talked to that person, this guy down in Irvine. I don't know why. There's so many friggin' loan officers down in Southern California. But I tell people, if they are just calling nonstop, looking for the very best deal, the very lowest rate, they're inevitably not going to find the best rate. What they're going to find is the best liar. And so, that's true across all direct lending, banking, all that, is that you're going to find people that have false promises to get your business. So it's important to look the person up online. If it's somebody who has worked really hard for all the positive reviews they have online, their business is built on referrals, their business is built on a good, positive online presence, you can rest assured you're not going to be the first one that they're going to screw and then have you give a negative review and then screw up all this hard work they're doing. Trust me, coming from me, I haven't worked tirelessly for 6 or 7 years to take care of people to all of a sudden shift course and start screwing people over. So that's one way to avoid the false promises. Look the person up. If they have an online presence, if they have a reputation to protect, less likely to promise you something they can't deliver on, or vice versa, whatever that was. Incompetence. That's a con of working with a mortgage broker, which I take some offense to. I know a lot of quality mortgage brokers that are very competent. This is something you're going to run across all of them, right? Direct lending, banking, brokers. If poorly educated about the home loan process, in some cases, if newbies are simply disorganized, that is important thing to take into consideration. Find someone who knows what the heck they are doing. This is the biggest purchase of your life, or it's the biggest, refinance financial decision of your life. Do not leave it up to somebody who's brand newly licensed and working for a call center out in Detroit for some humongous retail lender that spends all their money advertising on golf tournaments and NCAA tournaments, and they got to pay for it somehow. So why not charge you 2 or 3 points up front? It's another story. May not have access to loan programs with select banks. Approval varies considerably. I don't know what that means. Maybe there's certain banks or retail lenders that have their own program and the broker doesn't have access to that. But I think I'll go ahead and give that up, and in return have the gamut 60 plus lenders with a bunch of different programs that I can broker to. So that's that. Oh, let's read the pros. They do all the legwork for you, working on your behalf with the lender. That's true. You just give me all your information. I tell people too, once we have, that's why it's hard to quote sometimes, because we want to hear exactly what your scenario is and then say, okay, that fits best here. Then I give you a quote based on your credit score, your down payment, self-employed or W-2. All this stuff matters because it's not only where we can get the best terms, but where we can also have the best process. And trust me, in 2020, it is important to send it to a place that's gonna be able to close your loan in 25, 30 days. Some of these lenders are so gosh darn busy that if all you care about is rate, they'll give you the lowest rate. People call me every single day. My loan's been in process for 2.5 months, 3 months. It seems unbelievable, but I get those calls every day. and it's either a big online company who's brand new to mortgage, they have no idea what they're doing, and they're trying to offer low rates, but in order to offer those low rates, they have got no service at all. I don't know who they have working for them, but they can't get a loan done to save their life. And these people are 3 months into it. I'm like, holy cow, give me your stuff, we'll close in 3 weeks. Wholesale interest rates can be lower than retail bank branch interest rates. That's true. I mean, if you think about it, I'm sending the loan directly to the wholesale lender. There's no middleman. There's no branch manager. There's no regional manager. There's no marketing team. There's no corporate this or corporate that. All these folks in between that need to get paid. None of that when you're a broker. Send your loan directly to the wholesale bank. You get more loan options because they work with numerous banks and lenders. True dat. In a direct lender or banker's defense, I know a lot of them that are great. They've got the ability to broker certain products. They don't do X, Y, or Z in-house, but they have the broker relationship set up to do that stuff. So I'll give them that. Brokers can finance tricky deals because of their knowledge and various lending partners. This is true. There's all kinds of stuff that gets done that wouldn't have happened when I was a direct lender, and certainly would not happen at a bank. A bank is just not going to do, 562 credit score with this or that. So it's possible. I don't know if I want you to send me those, but it's possible. Are typically easier to get in contact with, less bureaucratic. Yeah, like I said earlier, you're not calling a bank branch and at 4:55 they're out the front door. You can't get a hold of them. People text me at 11 o'clock at night. Again, don't recommend you do that, but you've got my cell phone. Might be able to close your loan faster. Might? Show. Again, retail shops that are set up with good processes, they can close quick too. So on this, closing fast, I'll say it's banks, slow as friggin' molasses, Navy Federal Credit Union, don't plan on closing in less than 3 months, and then direct lenders and brokers, closing loans in 21 days right now when it's hectic and there's $10 trillion in mortgage volume in 2020, and we're still closing loans in less than 30 days. That's the benefit of a broker or direct lender. So that's that. Broker versus bank. I sprinkled in some other stuff there just for extra. Any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. Matt@mattthemortgageguy.com. That comes to me and my office manager. We'll make sure you get responded to. If you're in California, I'd love to help you. If you want advice and it has nothing to do with the deal, I'm happy to do that as well. If you're out of state, I can't lend, but I can still give good advice, and I can refer you to somebody I like and trust who you will likely like and trust. Thanks for watching. If you've made it all the way through, I truly appreciate it. I didn't mean for this to be so long-winded, but sometimes that's what happens. Thanks for watching.